Okay, good afternoon once again, or good afternoon, everyone. And this is again your learning partner, teacher Anna Hundis. So today we are going to have chapter one, or the social sciences and the applied social sciences. So let's try to weigh what is the differences between the social sciences and the applied social sciences. So let's go. Let's go to the next slide. So what are the social sciences? So always remember guys that social sciences are the academics disciplines that study man. So tama yung mga sagot nyo kanina that social sciences talks about the human behavior. Because it studies man, the society, and politics. So these disciplines help us understand and analyze how society works and why it is referred to as the matrix of politics. Yeah, so that is for the social sciences. So for today, or for this chapter, at the end of the chapter, you will be able to examine the importance of the social sciences, identify the disciplines under the social sciences in general and the applied social sciences in particular, and understand the value of the applied social sciences. So, what are the barriers or academic disciplines of the social sciences? So, if this is an umbrella, so the upper part is the social sciences and its branches or the academic disciplines are political science, economics, demography, geography, anthropology, linguistics, law, history, public administration, psychology, sociology, social work, communication, statistics. Okay, so because we are human being, there are some conflicts and there are a lot of things that we need to solve. So that's why we need the government, we need the lawmaker, we need authorities, we also need the non-governmental organizations. So that's why social sciences are very important. So without it, the people or the human race is not going to function well. So for example, we have here economics. So economics is the field that analyzes how individuals interact within society to address major issues about the use of economic resources for production and the exchange of goods and services. So, for political science, it is a discipline that studies the state and its basic elements, such as people, territory, government, and sovereignty. So, if you want to be a politician, guys, so you need to study political science very well. So you should know who are your people or what the qualities and what kind of people are we or the culture of the Filipino people. Our territory, we need to know it. Our government or what kind of government do we have? So we have uh, democratic, we have a democratic government and sovereignty. So you can also benchmark or think the other government that we can use here in political science. So maybe you can benchmark or susihin natin or dapat natin malaman kung ano ba talaga ang pinaka-the best na government or form of government here in political science. So that is discussed in your previous lesson or subject, which is the discipline and ideas in social sciences. So for economics, it is also very important. So every now and then we are using economics, especially when we are deciding what to buy, where to get funds, or where should we work so that uh, we should have a lot of resources. So, for economics, this is a field that analyzes how individuals interact within society to address major issues about the use of economic resources for production and the exchange of goods and services. So, that is for economics. Every now and then, nag-isip ka, ano bang bibilin ko? para for lunch. Ano ba ang kakainin ko for breakfast? So the way you buy, the way you produce, or the way you buy for the resources that you need, and you are going to exchange goods and services. Like for example, you are going to help your mom or dad in something so that you will get reward in return, or you can get allowance in return. Okay, so now, always remember economics is very important, especially also for investors. We can be investors in the future, so we need to study economics very well. We can be parents someday, that we need also to really know what are the important things to buy. So, scarcity versus shortage. So most likely that is available in economics. So let's go to demography. So what is demography? So demography is the study of population changes and trends, including migration from rural to urban areas, urbanization and human ecology, and population and its relationship to development. So most likely, there are a lot of things to study about demography kasi maraming conflict and maraming problem then. If susobra yung population, there would be a lot of problem. When the population will go down, and there will be also a lot of problem. So that's why we need just to have a balance demography or population. So what do we have, or what the resources do we have, is just greater than the population in a certain place para walang shortage. Now for geography, when we say geography, studies the world, its people, and its communities. See, human geography in particular focuses on human activities and their impact on environment change and other related issues. So most likely, it is the study of the world. So ano ba? Ano ba ang human activities? So, kung ganito ba yung gawin natin, ano ba magiging impact nito sa environment? So, that is geography. So, we need to study that because that is also a problem. So, if our world is dying, or the earth is dying, so where are we going to live? So, that's why it's important to study geography. Now, let's have anthropology. So when we say anthropology, it studies the origins and the cultural and physical characteristics of human beings, as well as the social norms that they observe, linguistics in the scientific study of language. It studies the structure and functions of words, sentences, and other spoken sounds. So, sinong gusto dito maging anthropologist? Or sino ditong gusto maging linguistic? So most likely, if you want to be an anthropologist, so you are going to study the origins and cultural and the physical characteristic of human beings. So ano bang meron? Saan ba tayo nanggaling? So, ano ba yung cultures natin? So, that is for anthropology. So, we also have linguistics. So, if you want to know where are the languages from, what are the structures of languages, the functions of words. So, this is available if you want to be a linguist or you would study linguistics. Now, let's go to the next line, which is my favorite. So, sino ba ditong gusto maging lawyer? So, and an historian. So, when we say you are studying law, it is the discipline that studies the rules formulated and implemented by the government to uphold order and equitability in society. So, they say that the law is never been good to the poor people. So I hope that the government or the lawyer or even the lawmakers are doing their best to have an equitable society. So there should be order, there should be justice to the meek. So that's why a lot of people want to be a lawyer to maybe change or establish a very good uh, order or a very good discipline in terms of the things that we need to do in the society, so that we will have a balanced world, like everyone can eat, everyone can enjoy something that enjoyed by the upper people, or uh, from the uh, very rich people, yung mga mayayaman, sana pantay-pantay. Now we also have historians, so studies the past to better understand contemporary society and anticipate changes and developments in the future. So sinong gusto nitong hindi maka-move on or hindi mag-move on? So you can also be a historian. So when we say historian, you are going to study the past. Okay, so that in studying the past, you will know, or you will have a uh, very good choices in life, or you will also understand the contemporary society. Ganito sila sa past, that's why pala ganito sila sa future, ganito sila ngayon. Now let's have the next one. So we have public administration and psychology. So when we say public administration, so yung mga nagtatrabaho sa government, or those the field that deals with the implementation of public policies. So just like anyone or someone who is working in the PWH, those secretary of education, secretary of department of public, I mean DPWH. So so a lot of the people are working in the government are having the public administration. So we have the implementation of public policies and the government agencies that enact this. So that is the study of public administration. If you want to be a part of that, then you can be a public administrator. We also have psychology. So who wants to be a psychologist here? So for psychology, it studies the human mind and human behavior. So it also examines how people think, act, and feel, with the end goal of creating intervention programs that would help improve human behavior. Next is sociology or communication. So when we say sociology is the systematic study of society and the social relations. It seeks to understand how individuals relate with one another and how they function in society. So always remember that, guys, if you want to be a sociologist, if you want to study our society, our social relations, then you can also study sociology. Now we also have communication. So communication deals with process of human communication and discusses how messages are interpreted based on their political, cultural, economic, and social context. So if you want to be in the field of communication, so you can be a director, you can be a newscaster, so or even in the field or behind the screen of the television. Okay, so in here too, it is not just about the language, but the communication itself. Like, how do we communicate? The process of communicating. So, it is also interpreted, or the messages should be interpreted based on their political, cultural, economic, and social context. Now, let's have the development studies and environmental planning. So, when we say development studies, tackle social and economic issues experienced by underdeveloped and developing nations. So, if you want to be someone who will help to develop the nations, so this is a very nice study too, or a very nice career path. So, an interesting issue in the discipline is whether the Philippines is developing or underdeveloped country. So, I believe the Philippines is developing because we are still working on it, or we are working to develop it into a better place, a better country. So I hope you can also help the Philippines in the future. How about environmental planning? So when we say environmental planning, it encourages individuals to make decisions that maintain the balance between human and natural system. So when we say environmental planning, So you are going to encourage individuals to make decisions. Like for example, like the DENR, when we say environmental planning, they are going to balance the human and natural system. Like for example, in a forest, in a certain forest, you can just occupy some of it, but not all of them. Even though you own that land, but because of the DNR and a lot of agencies that will punish you if you corrupt that certain forest. So most likely, you need to get a permission. So for environmental planning, you are the one who will plan uh, what percentage of this forest would be occupied by human and how many percentage of this forest shouldn't be occupied by the human. Okay. So now, most likely, this one is helpful in DENR. So we also have social policy and the statistics. So social policy is concerned with how societies respond to the needs of people, usually focusing on the economy. So most likely, social policy is work of a social worker. So because you know how many peoples are in the poverty or how many peoples are in the average life, how many people are very rich. So most likely they focus on it and they we also have equity like something that you deserve because of that is just your capacity, like how can you help those rich people if they're already rich? So most likely it is not fair because we have equity, so we need to help someone who is in need. Okay, now we also have statistics. So when we say statistics, it involves the collection, organization, and analysis of numerical data. So who wants to be a statistician here? Someone who is a very good in analysis and a very good in math. But actually, it is not just more on numerical, but it it also needs collection. You are good in collection. You are good in organization. You are also good or very good in communication and analysis of numerical data. Like how many percentage are in the poverty line? How many percentage are teachers? Or how many percentage are doctors in this place? Or how many percentage are the return rate, turnover rate, just like that. So that is the work of the statistician. So what are the differences pala? So what are the differences between social sciences and the applied social sciences? So let's try to know what are applied social sciences. So applied social sciences draw heavily from the theories of the various social sciences. So example of the applied is something that you have applied is psychology, sociology, and political science to critically study society and the relationships among the people within. So among those you have learned in the social sciences, you are going to apply that in the real world. So we have here, applied social sciences are multidisciplinary in nature. However, for purposes of this book, we shall only discuss three important fields in the applied social sciences. Actually, applied social sciences is multidisciplinary in nature. Like it is the work that is designed for those branches or um what we call this one disciplines of the social sciences, but we are just focusing in the three important fields, so which are counseling, social work, and communication studies. So now let's have counseling. So what is counseling? So when we say counseling, guys, it draws heavily from the theories of psychology and the other behavioral sciences. Counseling seeks to improve the client's mental health and well-being by discussing his or her emotional problems to help him or her cope with them. So when we say counseling, it really draws heavily from the theories of psychology. So we also have the behavioral sciences. So we need to improve the client's mental health. So as you all know, we really need, or people really need counsel or counseling. It is because, like for example, there are times that we don't know what to do, like it is no hope. A lot more are uh, not good in dealing with relationship or having with a family or a lot of affairs, so we need to have counseling. So or we will also tackle, or we will also discuss the different kinds of counseling, so just like the career and a lot more. So for the next one is the social work. So when we say social work, it is a practice-based profession that seeks to improve the welfare of communities, individuals, families, and other groups in society. So most likely, the social worker really tend, or they really plan, or they really want to improve our communities, our individual uh, families, and groups in society. Next is communication. So when we say communication involves the sharing of symbols to create meaning. The discipline covers a number of topics, including face-to-face conversations and mass media such as television, radio, newspapers, and the internet. The internet, social media, and electronic mail. So most likely in communication, there are also a lot of careers in communication. Like for example, you can be a newscaster, you can be a TV operator, radio operator. Uh, we also have DJ, VJ. So the maker of newspapers or writers. The internet. Here also in the internet, there are also some work or career in the internet. Like for example, you are a blogger. Hey, come on. Welcome to my blog, just like that. So we also have social media. So you can use like YouTube. So as you all know that we can have income from this kinds of communication. So just like if you have a lot of subscribe in my YouTube channel. And for the electronic mail. So here in the communication, there are a lot of careers here, and even if you are just a student, you can still have uh, income from this one. Like if you have a YouTube channel, or if you have a Facebook Live, or if you have a blog, yeah, vlog, you also have a lot of things to learn from that. So most likely we will learn all that. So I will maybe in the last part of our lessons, I will be requiring you to have your YouTube channel. So you can say, welcome to my blog. Click and subscribe. So thank you so much, everyone. That ends our lesson for today. That is chapter number 1. So in the coming chapters, we are going to go deeper with counseling, social work, and communication. So I hope you will find your passion there. What are the things that you really want to do? So thank you so much for listening, my class. I hope you learned a lot from our lesson. See you again, everyone. Bye.